Hi, my name is Nathan Kwan and welcome to the preview of the European Championships 2016 in France. So we've looked at groups A and B, C and D. Now we are going to look at groups E and F. Benjamin Nketia joins me, and Ben, we've got Group E on our hands. A fascinating one. There's Ireland, there's Sweden, there's Belgium, and there's Italy as well. So Gianluigi Buffon's last tournament is this one. But let's look at the teams in perspective. There's Ireland, I've mentioned, there's Belgium, there's Sweden, of course the Italians.
Well, let's look at the Irish to start with. Leadership from Martin O'Neill and Roy Keane. You know that there will certainly be a tactically sound side. You know that they will not lack edge in the dressing room and motivation, because we know that Roy Keane is iconic for
he never hides anything.
Giving players the jolt when they are napping in a serious situation. Manchester United or his former colleagues at Man United will give you the 4-1-1 on that particular situation. But I think that they have a good mix right from the attack, the midfield and the defense, and that should serve them well. Shane Long, he's had a good season at Southampton, and I think that if he should be able to translate that to the competition, it should serve his nation well. Jonathan Walters, top scorer for them in the qualifiers. Not the most exciting player to watch, but certainly one who can get you goals and can get you a sound play that can win you a game in a tight situation. So I think that the Irish should be sorted, but I still feel that they will be outsiders coming into this one, just based on the sheer class and the quality individually and man for man that the other teams in the group possess. Talk about Belgium. We know that the Belgians are featuring what they call their golden era.
The best collection of players anywhere you can find. Quality runs through that team, but can they get it right this time? They fell at the quarterfinals in Brazil in the World Cup. Can they go further than that in this tournament?
Well, it will be interesting to know, because, I mean, like you said, Wilmot, the manager, he will have this competition, I think, as a final yardstick to prove himself, or he will be out of the job. So he will know that he will have to get his players performing to their full abilities. And I feel that, like you said, Belgium have a fantastic collection, but can these players get it together? Sometimes football is more about individuals putting away their individual talents and working for the greater good of the unit. Eden Hazard, we all know how good he is on an individual level. He's not had a good season, but he resurged towards the end of last season, and will he be able to carry the momentum into the Euros? It will be interesting to know. Kevin De Bruyne, despite having an injury or a serious injury that we all thought would derail his season, was fantastic even on his return. He's remained a marquee side in the competition, and he called out his colleague Divock Origi in training for not tracking back during one of their sessions. So it should give you a sense of what the mentality of the Belgian side is going into the competition. Benteke, Lukaku, Wilmot will be spoiled for choice with regards to the forwards to go with. Divock Origi himself will be in there as well. But
Yannick
Carrasco of Atletico Madrid will be in there. So, I mean, loads of options for Wilmot to work with. I obviously feel that Lukaku, based on everything, based on his form with his club side, should be the unanimous choice for them. But the supporting cast is amazing to have. Will they be able to perform to their full ability? That remains the underlying factor.
Now there's Italy as well. Now Gianluigi Buffon, like I said earlier, says this is his last tournament. Now a lot of the big names have been dropped. Andrea Pirlo is absent. Mario Balotelli doesn't make the cut. Now the responsibility falls on a player like Graziano Pelle to lead the line, and he's got a good group around him. Now can the Italians go back to a final they went to 4 years ago?
I mean, certainly. The Italians are always one of those sides you consider a tournament side. I mean, even when they don't play too well in the qualifying rounds, they always find the charisma, they always find the fortitude to be able to go out there in a tournament situation and deliver. I mean, if you look at their squad now, talent-wise, I think it's depleted over the years, but technical quality-wise, I think they're still up there with the best in the world. Antonio Conte, he has a project to take care of outside this one, so he will be hoping to leave a good mark on this competition before he walks away. I'm not too impressed with the sort of forwards they have to parade in this competition, to be honest with you. Graziano Pelle, I think, is a solid enough forward, but I mean, he's not used to this type of situation. This will arguably be his biggest competition as a footballer. Will he be the one to carry them with regards to scoring goals. I think that he will contribute his quota if the supplies come in, but you get the sense that the Italians will have to rely heavily on their midfield to do a lot of the work for them. They are never the side that scores a lot of goals in competitions, and you get the sense that it will be the same blueprint going for it, grinding out results, 2-1 wins, 1-0 wins, but I feel that their quality should be able to see them go through with the Belgians.
So Italy and Belgium being taken by Benjamin and Ketia. Now let's talk about Group F. And Ben, there's Austria, Hungary, Portugal and Iceland. A very strange mix there. But if you split the teams into their components, you realize that there's quality that's running through every other team. Let's start with the Austrians.
Austrians, immediately 2 names will jump out at you. Marko Arnautovic, David Alaba. And David Alaba, for me, will be one of the key guys to look at in this competition because we are likely to see him feature in an unfamiliar position. I mean, we all know that when he features for Bayern Munich, he usually plays out at the left back position or in defensive midfield. Guess what? In the qualifiers, he played as an attacking midfielder or as a second striker for Austria. So, yes, fascinating. He started out his career as a striker, so it's territory that's not too unfamiliar for him. And I've heard him say that he likes it when he's able to contribute to the attack and able to give out a helping hand in various facets of the field. So, it will be interesting to note what he brings to the table in this competition. Marko Arnautovic finally doing away with his demons and coming close to what we know he's capable of doing. It will be key to see what part he plays in this competition. I get the sense that a player like him will look to use the Euros as a platform to market himself for the next season. I think that he feels that he's done enough to be able to command a club bigger than Stoke City, but it will all depend on how they do in this competition. They are a very, very disciplined side tactically. They play some very, very good football as well. So I think that the Austrians will be a key side. I think most people will not look to see them go out of the group stages, but they should have my money to make it out of the group stages.
And then there's Iceland, and they have one star name, Gylfi Sigurdsson. Of course, strange decision by their coach to draft in either Gudjohnsen, but you get the sense that Sigurdsson will be their go-to guy.
Certainly, top scorer for them also in the qualifying rounds, player with a lot of quality, but it might be asking a bit too much, especially
because of Iceland that Holland didn't get to make.
Exactly, but at the competition proper, there will be a lot more giants to deal with and not just the orange of Holland. But Gylfi Sigurdsson certainly will contribute his quota, good passing, the trademark long range shots, and of course the set pieces. I look forward to seeing quite a number of the set pieces. Either Gudjohnsen, I've never doubted his quality throughout the years. One of the more underrated players going forward, but hey, I mean, he brings a lot to the table. Leadership, he brings goals. I mean, he's a proven goal scorer for them. I think he's their top scorer of all. He's their all-time top goal scorer. So it doesn't hurt that he's been drafted into this side. So I mean, we'll see Iceland compete as much as they possibly can. They score quite a number of goals as well, but I feel that the heat of the competition might be just too much for them. The others might boast too much quality.
And then there's Hungary, who have a 40-year-old Gabor Kirali, imposed former Aston Villa goalkeeper. And out wide or up top, they've got Balázs Zuzák, former PSV Eindhoven forward.
Trademark left foot of Balázs Zuzák. You can't mention him without mentioning the left foot. Another dead ball expert. It will be interesting. I mean, the Hungarians have been away from top flight international football or from a high-profile competition of this sort for so long that you get the sense that they have been detached, or they are a bit detached from what the demands of a competition like this will be. But I mean, never rule out a Hungarian side. Tactical discipline will forever be there for them, and they come in with the fact that they don't have any expectations on them to perform. So that's always a good thing to work with. Balázs Zuzák, obviously, it will be interesting to see what he will do for them as a leader. But I tip the Austrians to make it out of this one.
So the final group, not the Italians, is the Portuguese. There's Portugal, the enigma that is Portugal. Now, great group, fantastic talent, but they never ever seem to get it right when they must play in a tournament. They are going to rely on Cristiano Ronaldo, who also says this might be his very last Euros. How are they going to play? Now, this is a group that on paper looks winnable, but can they progress, the Portuguese?
I mean, for the Portuguese, they've had to rely on Cristiano Ronaldo for far too long, and we've seen what he's done. My last vivid memory of when he totally had to do everything to get Portugal in a competition was in the playoff against Sweden leading up to the 2014 World Cup. And you get the sense that Portugal cannot carry on placing all their eggs in one basket, which is Cristiano Ronaldo. They need the other players to step up But who are the other players who can step up? Maybe new boy Renato Sanchez of Bayern Munich. I mean, a lot has been said about him. Huge price tag hanging over his head going into next season. Maybe this tournament will offer him the right platform to be able to diffuse some of the tension and to also give football lovers a taste of what they will get next season from him. Luis Nani, moving away from the bright lights of some of the bigger clubs in Europe, he is finally beginning to perform, maybe to the expectations or to the level that we all thought he was capable of. He must lend a helping hand to Ronaldo if Portugal are to make anything of this competition. Obviously, I think that Portugal will boss this group and come out on top. But where do they go after the group? I mean, if they do not manage to make it out of the group, it will be a calamity for them.
So we'll see. So this final question, where does Portugal play Cristiano Ronaldo? The arguments have been all over the place. Some say he should function better in a wide area. Some believe he should play centrally because of his taste and his taste for goals and how he wants to score. Do you think he should lead the line centrally or he should play in one of the wide positions?
Well, I think that for my money, Cristiano Ronaldo plays best as a left winger, when he is able to cut in on his stronger right foot and shoot, when he's able to lay the ball off for others to also attack the post. I mean, a few times we might see him switch flanks or we might see him adapt the free role, but most often than not, Ronaldo is at his best when he plays as a left winger. It's where he does his most damage. It's where most of his career goals have been scored. Drifting into the box is something he does effortlessly now. He will obviously look to position himself when Portugal are on the attack, but traditionally he will start out on the left for me.
So we'll see how Cristiano Ronaldo leads his Portugal in that group, which is Group F. So we've looked at all the groups A, B, C, D. My name is Nathan Carl. Benjamin Nketiah has been helping me with the preview. It's been fun, it's been great. Join us from the 10th of June as we look at the European Championships happening in France.